So with the Lakers' disappointing first-round exit to obviously the Minnesota Timberwolves, and basically their main problem being no interior defense, no center play, the Lakers are definitely going to have to make some moves this offseason, and it's definitely going to be for some big men. What is up, y'all, and welcome back to another video, and today we're obviously going to be talking about the Los Angeles Lakers and some news that we have on them. But before we get into everything, make sure you guys like the video and subscribe like I always say. Helps me out so much, and yeah, let's get into it. So I'm going to start off with a tweet from NBA Central saying, the Lakers have been showing interest in Nick Claxton, Robert Williams, and Walker Kessler on the trade market, while also monitoring Brook Lopez, Clint Capella as potential backups to whoever they acquire as their starting center. And the full quote reads, sources close to the team reiterated that the internal plan is to trade for their starting center. Sources say that they've held conversations with other teams about Nick Claxton, Robert Williams, Walker Kessler, and others. Then, ideally, use the taxpayer mid-level exception on the backup. Brook Lopez and Clint Capella are two names most often linked to the Lakers. It's a solid plan that they're considered likely to be able to execute. So basically, for all you guys who don't like to look too deep into all this wording and this complicated wording, what this basically means is that they're trying to trade for a good center like Walker Kessler, Nick Claxton, Robert Williams, and then sign a good backup behind them like Brook Lopez or Clint Capella. And honestly, this is a very solid plan because ideally they're going to get at least one of those two, options. Worst case, they get Clint Capella or Brook Lopez in free agency, but, best case, they can get a really good young center like Robert Williams, Walker Kessler, or Nick Claxton, and get a good older veteran backup, which is like a good little mix between the two. And with those first three options that they might trade for, Clint Capella, Nick Claxton, or Robert Williams, those guys are all in their mid-20s or early 20s, which is a good, option to have for Luka Doncic. And all these guys are basically traditional centers. They can all catch lobs, they can all play good defense, and that works well with Luka. But also, if you get Brook Lopez or Clint Capella, older veteran type of guys, it helps you compete now because LeBron James probably has 1 to 2 years left, and you want to at least stack up your roster the best you can so you can try to compete next year. And if you think about it, all those guys have kind of been in trade rumors. I mean, Robert Williams has been in trade rumors for a while. He's just never been healthy, so, he's never been traded. And then Walker Kessler's actually been in trade rumors for a long time, even since his rookie year. And then Nick Claxton just doesn't really fit the timeline for the Nets either. So, all these guys are going to be easy or relatively easy to trade for because the Lakers definitely have some first-round picks and Dalton Knecht. I bet a Dalton Knecht plus one first-round pick will get it done for any of these three players, in my opinion. Maybe you throw in one more person, but I think these players are not going to be too hard to trade for. And then I feel like, a guy like Brook Lopez or Clint Capella would gladly sign with the Lakers because the Lakers are trying to compete and the players are trying to be young contenders to win a ring towards the end of their careers. So, this all just makes sense to me. And hopefully, the Lakers can go from having no good centers at all to having, one of the stronger center rotations in the league. That could be very interesting to see. And another trade rumor I saw from NBA Central was that the Lakers and the Jazz have held trade discussions centered around John Collins, and this is per Andy Blarson. I don't really know how to say that right, but Andy Blarson basically said how John Collins and the Lakers might be having some relations here. And honestly, I like this fit a lot. I feel like John Collins next to Luka could be very fun to see. John Collins is a good lob catcher, and he's also a very good, floor stretcher, so he can hit the three and catch lobs from Luka. That could be a dream pairing, for the Los Angeles Lakers. He can definitely be a situational guy too. He can play the center at times. He can play the four at times. I definitely think the Lakers should make it a priority to get John Collins first and then one of these centers. But, maybe you guys have different opinions there. But I mean, John Collins is arguably the best player on the Jazz this year. He actually improved a lot from the year prior, and he's definitely improved his value a lot. But the Jazz could definitely work something out here with the Lakers. They could even do, they can basically throw in John Collins and Walker Kessler for a trade centered around Dalton Knecht, some contracts, and then some first-round picks. I feel like that could be an interesting, deal there too, because the Lakers would get Walker Kessler and John Collins, their whole front court going forward, and then they would just give up some young pieces, and they're basically proving that they want to win now. But I feel like, Walker Kessler and John Collins are still like young players, and they could definitely fit the Luka timeline. So, that could be a dream come true for the Lakers, actually. So if you ask me, I think they should prioritize, getting a John Collins and Walker Kessler deal done. And if that doesn't work, you could go for Nick Claxton or Robert Williams, whatever the two, because those are still good options, and then go for the Clint Capella, Brook Lopez free agency route. If you can get, any of those players and then sign Clint Capella or Brook Lopez, honestly, you'd probably rather go Clint Capella because I feel like Brook Lopez, he's getting up there in age, so I don't really know how good he's going to be next year. But, either one could actually work. I just think it kind of just depends if you want to go for a floor stretching big or you can just want to go for a pure lob catching defensive big. it really doesn't matter, to be honest. They're both going to be, pretty good for the Lakers, or at least better than what the Lakers have right now, right? But regardless, I'm excited for the Lakers. Obviously, I'm not a Lakers fan if you've been watching the channel for a while, but, I still like to see good basketball. And if the Lakers can get a good center and really compete and maximize that LeBron-Luka window, I'd be happy for them, especially because that team has the potential to be a very competitive team in the West next year, and even, maybe sneak into the finals and win something. Who really knows? But OKC looks very strong right now, and honestly, the Pacers, I don't know, man. That's been a good finals, but Halliburton might be out, so we'll see how that ends up. But yeah, I don't know, man. We're talking about next year. We're not talking about this year, right? But yeah, let me know in the comments what you guys think about this. Let me know which center you guys think fits best with the Lakers. Let me know if you guys think John Collins could be a good fit for them as well, or if you guys think they should just do the original route of like a Nick Claxton, Walker Kessler, or Robert Williams, and then sign, one of those guys in free agency. Let me know what you guys think about that. Make sure you guys like the video and subscribe like I always say. Helps me out so much. And yeah, we out.